Hello, everybody. This is Robert from RJL 518, and I am welcoming you here to Citi Field, home of the New York Mets, as I'm about to play a little bit of an exhibition game of playoff pitch baseball. This is the first time I'm actually playing this game, so bear with me as I still learn these rules and such. And if I really messed up anything, please go ahead and leave a comment. And a like, of course, if you like this presentation. I'm going to be playing a game on July 2nd from the 2019 season. It'll be the New York Yankees versus the New York Mets. I kind of figured maybe a good way to start the first game would be, of course, with my favorite team against a team I absolutely hate. And I can't stand the evil Galactic Empire with the Yankees. Everybody loves the Yankees. But do I love watching Yankees baseball? Of course, because you always get great games when you play against the Yankees. So I'm showing you the field that I'm utilizing here. I will not be scoring this game, so I just want to get the ebb and flow of the system itself. I do have the fast action cards here, as you can see, which I'll be utilizing as a hybrid. I felt that watching people play the hybrid game, rolling the dice for the main plays in the field and such, and I felt that would be looked like it'd be the best way to do it. I don't have to worry about working at the charts except for certain plays. So as I go through this, please bear with me. This might be a little longer than some of the payoff pitch games you're used to watching. As I'm playing this game is actually facing me. So when the video is completed, I will flip it and it'll look like it's facing you. Although I'm here, right here. So it's kind of funny how I decided to do this, to set up. I really don't have much space here on this desk of mine to play this, but I was able to go ahead and get it set up where it actually would work. This game was actually won by the Mets 4-2 in that game. So you can see the field here that I'm using. I have some baseball. I actually was able to find a copy of this big league baseball game, which actually has hold the players like this, which I think is really cool. And I have a scoreboard that I'll be utilizing to keep track of the score for at least for this game, until I can go ahead and maybe make some of the better ways here. So as I said, bear with me. I have the rules here, the charts also here next to me. Okay, and we'll see how this goes for this first play. As I said, this is at Citi Field, and it is the New York Yankees versus the New York Mets. This is a replay of this game. Let's take a look at the start. And for those of you who have watched my Action PC Baseball, I'm usually announcing it, and really getting into the game. For this first play, I think I'm probably just going to keep it cool a little bit and just try to learn the ebb and flow. And when I learn the ebb and flow, I will be doing the full announcing like I usually do. So let's see how this works. Let's start the lineups for the visiting New York Yankees here at Citi Field. DJ LeMahieu will bat first. Aaron Judge is second. Aaron Hicks will bat third. Gary Sanchez will bat fourth. Didi Gregorius will bat fifth. Edwin Encarnacion is sixth. Gleyber Torres is seventh. Brett Gardner will bat eighth. And the pitcher, James Paxton, will bat ninth. And he is using hitter's card number 1. Usually, as most American League pitchers couldn't really hit. I'll be honest with you, I kind of think the designated, as much as I hate the DH rule, which I do, I hate the designated hitter. I think the pitcher should grab a stick. But in today's world, at least in the National League, when your pitcher is getting paid $30 million a year and he tears his ACL outrunning a ground ball to second, I think now really the designated hitter rule needs to be instituted in the National League. I know a lot of people will disagree with that, and I understand. And actually, I disagree with that myself. And it sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but you don't want Jacob deGrom tearing his ACL on a pop fly. I just don't think. I think now in today's baseball world of conditioning and player development, I just think the pitcher doesn't need to be at bat anymore, and that's why the American League is trying to get the National League to use the DH rule when they go visit their parks, because of course there's such an advantage. But yet it's funny that the American League actually leads, I think, the National League barely in the overall interleague. It's kind of weird. Defensively for the Mets, we will have Pete Alonzo at first base. Robinson Cano is at second. The shortstop is Ahmed Rosario. Third baseman is Todd Frazier. They put J.D. Davis in left field for this, so he is in left. Center field is Michael Conforto. Right fielder is Jeff McNeil. Behind the plate is the catcher Wilson Ramos. And on the mound for the New York Mets in this game is Zack Wheeler. Zack Wheeler in 2000 had pitched 31 games, had 195 strikeouts, 11 wins, 8 losses, a 3.96 ERA. He is the starting pitcher for the New York Mets. So let's go to the top of the first inning. Let's see if we can do this right. Leading off for the Yankees will be DJ LeMahieu. And we'll see what happens here. So this is a historical. This is my first ever roll of the dice for this game. Okay, so this is historical, people. So here we go. The first ever dice roll, Payoff Pitch Baseball. And it is a 7, and that is an in-play result, 42. And that looks like I popped it up in the infield, and it looks like that Todd Frazier is going to make the play, and there's one out. So one down, and the batter will be Aaron Judge. Judge comes up. Zack Wheeler is a right-hander. James Paxton is a lefty. Here's the pitch to Judge, and it's a 12. Oh, it's in play, and it's a 34. Judge puts it in play. It's a ground ball right to first, and Alonzo is going to make the play for the second out. So 2 outs now for Aaron Hicks. Aaron Hicks batted .218 against the right-handers. Here's the pitch from Wheeler, and it's 5. It's also in play. He puts this in play, 34, and this one is a grounder to first, and Alonzo is going to make the play and put it to the and tag the bag himself for the out. So it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Zack Wheeler. Not too bad. Let's go to the bottom half of the first inning for the Mets. And the starting lineup, it is Mcneil batting first. Alonzo, Rookie of the Year last year, will bat second. J.D. Davis will bat third. Todd Frazier will bat fourth. Cano will bat fifth. Ramos bats sixth. Conforto will bat seventh. Rosario will bat eighth. And Zack Wheeler batting ninth. And Zack Wheeler is a good hitter. He is using pitcher's card number 10, hitting card number 10. So he can hit the ball. Defensively for the New York Yankees, it is Edwin Encarnacion at first base. Gleyber Torres is at second. DJ LeMahieu will be at third. Gregorius is at short. In left field is Brett Gardner. Aaron Hicks is at center field, and Aaron Judge is in right. Behind the plate, Gary Sanchez, and on the mound for the New York Yankees is James Paxton. 15 wins, 6 losses, a 3.82 ERA for 2019. He had an excellent season. He's a very hard pitcher to get through. So so the Mets have a good pitcher up there in Wheeler, but the Yankees have one of their aces on the mound for this game in Paxton. So let's see how this goes. So leading off for the New York Mets will be Jeff McNeil. McNeil batted .312 against the lefties last year, and McNeil, of course, was actually very much in the running for the batting title last year. Just flitched off a little bit. Plus, him getting hurt later in last season didn't help much. So here's the pitch to McNeil, bottom of the first inning, and it is a 9. It's a patient on Paxton, and it is an 18. And McNeil is going to go ahead and walk. So McNeil draws the walk to first base, puts a runner on, and that will bring up Pete Alonzo. Pete Alonzo, 53 home runs last year. Well, new rookie record, and was Rookie of the Year last year. And Pete Alonzo already has 50 home runs. It is so sad right now that we're not playing baseball because Pete Alonzo already has the Hall of Fame path already laid out before him. He just has to walk it. McNeil on at first. Here's the pitch to Alonzo. And it is a tough, and it's a 53. And that is a pop fly ball to right field. And it looks like Aaron Judge is going to make the catch. And that is 1 out, and McNeil is going to hold. So 1 out. And the batter will be J.D. Davis, another great hitter the Mets have right here. The Mets got a pretty good baseball team, in my opinion. This team, I felt this team really could have been competing for the division title. I know how good the Nationals are. Okay, I know how good the Braves are. The National League East really was the toughest division in baseball. At least, I mean, Nationals, Braves, the Mets, and the Phillies now with Joe Girardi and Bryce Harper. The only team they didn't have to worry about, I guess, was the Marlins. But I actually think the Marlins are getting better every year. So who knows? I know for a fact the Marlins would have played spoilers in several games this season. Runner on at first base and Mcneil. Davis is at the plate. Here's the pitch from Paxton. And it is and you can't see that. There you go. All right. It is a 5. It is a tough. And an 85 to Davis. And, he's got a good range as a tough pitcher. But Davis is going to go ahead and ground this out to shortstop. This is going to ground this to short. And I guess let's see if there's a double play. I guess I got to check the double play. There's a grounder to short. Mcneil, double play rating of 5. James Paxton, double play. Where's his thing here? James Paxton. His hold rate, what is this? Yeah, so we're getting this here. So James Paxton is a 5. And his hold rating is a 5. It's a 4 underneath the both. So let me just check check the charts here so I know that I'm doing this right. And I ground out to 6. And it says if runner on first base, compare 2d6 total to batter and pitcher's rating of dice total is equal to or less than each player's DP rating. Runner on first out at second base, batter out at first base, other runners advance. And it is actually, so the double play rating for Jeff McNeil was a 5. James Paxton, his double play rating is a 7. It is under both. So J.D. Davis grounds it to short, throws to second, throws to first, double play, end of the inning. So James Paxton gets out of it by a double play. And that ends it. So no runners left on. We go to the top of inning number 2. And leading off for the Yankees will be Didi Gregorius. Or was it Gary? Or was it was that a 3 up, 3 down inning? I'm sorry, that was a 3 up, 3 down inning. I forgot. I got to keep track of this thing here. All right. So no, Gary Sanchez is the batter. So here's Zack Wheeler. This is the second inning. Let's see what he does. And it's an 8, and this is a patient. It's a 90, and this is a fly ball into left field, and making the catch is going to be Davis for the first out. Here's Didi Gregorius. And there goes the dice as usual. Always dropping stuff all over the place, right, guys? All right, so here's Didi Gregorius. Here's the pitch from Wheeler. Wheeler is an 11. This is defense, and it is a 10. So I'm about to make the first ever pull from the card deck. And defense is a range on the center fielder, which is Michael Conforto. And Conforto's defensive rating is in center field is a C. So let me check the rules on that. Okay, so range is a C, so we roll the dice here on the City Field chart. So it's a 1 to 45 or a 46. The play to Conforto, and Conforto, 47, just makes the catch. 47 probably had to leap for that a little bit, leaped in his glove, and Michael Conforto comes through with the catch. And that is the second out. And now they'll bring up Edwin Encarnacion. So 2 outs, and the pitch to Edwin. And that is a 7. That's another patient on Zack Wheeler, and that is a 5, and that is a walk. So Edwin Encarnacion will go take a walk to first base, and the batter will be Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres coming up to bat. Runner at first with 2 outs. There's the pitch, and it's a 5. This one's in play, and it's an 80. It's an 80, and this is grounded to short, and the play is going to be made by Ahmed Rosario, who will throw to second covering and end the inning. So One runner left. So one runner left on, and no score still as we go to the bottom half of the inning number 2. So bottom half of the second inning, still no score. And Todd Frazier will lead it off for the Mets against James Paxton. Let's see how we get this. And it's a 3. Paxton's a patient to Todd Frazier. And a 56 on him. That's against the lefty. 56 on him, and that's going to be a base hit. Todd Frazier sends this one into the outfield as he managed to get a hit off of Paxton and then put the Mets a runner at first base. His steal attempt is a 2. So I'm going to see if his steal attempt is a 2. And I got to see if I'm going to use, I forgot to use the steal attempts, I guess, with the 2 runners on base, didn't I? Running attempt, steal attempt is Todd Frazier. I really do not think he is going to steal. Catcher's Gary Sanchez's arm is a 3, and Frazier's steal is an F, so it will be an F3, and he's not even going to chance it. So he's going to stay at first base. The batter will be Robinson Cano. Robinson Cano will come up to bat. Runner at first. He is being held. He's being held. Here's the pitch to Cano. And it's a 6. It's a tough 51. And Cano is hit by the pitch. So that puts runners at first and second as he plunks them. And Cano got smacked a few times, so he's hit by the pitch on a 51. So that puts runners at first and second now with nobody nobody out. And the batter now is Wilson Ramos. Okay. So runners at first and second with nobody out. Here's Ramos. So Paxton's in a little bit of trouble here. We'll see if the Mets can see what the Mets do. Here's the roll. And it is a 7.69. This is tough. And Wilson Ramos. And that is a grounder to second base. That's a grounder to second. So I guess I gotta go check the charts here. As I said, bear with me, everyone. I'm still learning this. So grounder to second. Let's see here. If runner on first base, compare 2d6 total to batter and pitchers to pitch. So Wilson Ramos' double play rating's a 9. It's 7. It's a 7. So yes, it's going to be a double play. Other runners advance one base. If 2d6. Other runners advance 1 base. So that is going to be a double play by Wilson Ramos. It will move Todd Frazier to third. So Frazier to third. Ramos grounds into the double play, which is always the pitcher's favorite play. Here's Michael Conforto. So now there are 2 outs. 2 outs now, and here's Michael Conforto. Todd Frazier on at third, but 2 outs now in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. It's a 5. This is a tough, and it's a 53, and struck him out. And that retires the side, so Conforto goes down on strikes to end the inning. So a possible good rally by the Mets. They just couldn't get it done. And at the end of inning 2, we still have no score. We'll go to the top of inning 3. And it is Brett Gardner leading off for the Yankees. Fans here at Shea Stadium a little bit disappointed. There is a lot of blue and orange in the field, and there's also a lot of navy blue, dark navy blue, and white in the field too. A lot of people wearing a lot of pinstripes, and some have the Mets script across, and some have the NY logo on the side. Here's the pitch to Brett Gardner from Zack Wheeler. It's a 5. This is in play. 82, and this is a grounder to second base, and the play will be made by Cano, who throws to Alonzo. 1 out. 1 down now for James Paxton, and he uses pitcher's hitting card number 1. And here's the pitch, and it is an 8. Is patient, and a 54 And he actually hits one pretty nicely. It's a nice fly ball to right field, but it's going to be Jack Mcneil who'll settle under it and put it away for the out. 2 outs now for DJ LeMahieu is next time up. And here's the pitch from Wheeler. And that is an 8. That is patient. And LeMahieu hits one into a ground puts it up. It looks like he hit it off the end of the bat. It's going to be a grounder to shortstop. Ahmed Rosario is going to throw to first and end the inning. And the side is retired. So a 3-up, 3-out inning for Zack Wheeler. Getting a lot of patience and a lot of in plays, but the batters are not getting much of anything here so far. So we go to the bottom half of inning number 3. And the leadoff batter for the Mets will be Ahmed Rosario. James Paxton gets back up there. Here's the pitch. And it is an 8. This is a patient as well. A 39 by... I'm sorry, wrong. This is a ballpark effect on Paxton. And it is a 39. And this is in the wheelhouse. This is in the wheelhouse. Can Rosario come up with a hit here? 10. And Ahmed Rosario gets a hold of one. He gets a hold of all of this one. This ball is going and say goodbye. It's out of here. Ahmed Rosario blasts a home run off the Citi Field ballpark effect. And that is a home run for Ahmed Rosario. And the Mets take a 1-0 lead. How about that? Rosario can hit for power. He had 15 home runs in 2019. So James Paxton put one out there, and the wind at Citi Field must have blown that one. It looked like it pretty much, it didn't, and it cleared the wall pretty well, actually. He hit that one hard. So Ahmed Rosario makes it a 1-0 lead for the Mets, and now that'll bring up Zack Wheeler. Here's the pitch from Paxton. This is 9. It's patient, and Wheeler's a good hitter. This is a 10, and he's going to draw the walk. So James Paxton walks the pitcher. Something you're not supposed to do in the National League. Walking a pitcher is bad. So Zack Wheeler goes to first base, and so the first 2 batters, one's a home run to Ahmed Rosario, and the other is and now he walks Zack Wheeler. It'll bring up the top of the batting order in Jeff Mcneil. Still nobody out. Here's the pitch from Paxton, and this one's patient. It's a 22, and Mcneil, he walks Mcneil. So Wheeler goes to second, Mcneil goes to first, and now runners at first and second, nobody out. And now the batter is the guy you really don't want to see, is Pete Alonzo. So James Paxton in a major jam here, runners at first and second, and no, Zack Wheeler wasn't going to steal anyway on that last try. I'm not sending Zack Wheeler to steal. Okay. So Pete Alonzo, runners at first and second. Pete Alonzo is up. Here's the pitch from Paxton. 7. This is tough. And it's a 41. And Alonzo will go down on strikes. So that's the first out. And that will bring up J.D. Davis. He grounded into that double play in the first inning. So runners at first and second now, 1 out. Paxton's already given up a run. Let's see how we do. Here's the pitch to Davis. And this one is a tough. This is a 21. And Davis strikes out. So now we have 2 down. As now James Paxton seems to have recovered a bit. And now the batter will be Todd Frazier. Frazier up to bat. Mcneil on at first. Wheeler on at second. Here's the pitch to Frazier. And this is a patient, and it's a 28. Patient is a 28, and that is a walk. So Paxton has walked. The base is loaded, but there is 2 outs. So Mcneil. So now Wheeler goes to third, Mcneil at second, Frazier on at first. And now the batter is Robinson Cano. But still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, 1-0 Mets. James Paxton gets the sign from Sanchez, and here's the pitch. It's a 7. This is tough. And it's an 84, and Cano's going to ground it off to second. He'll tag the bag himself and end the inning. But the Mets get a run on Ahmed Rosario home run, and at the end of 3 innings, it's New York Mets 1, New York Yankees nothing. We go to the top of inning number 4. And as you can see, I've added a little thing here for me, a little bit easier to get this. I'll make it look better, guys, as we go along. So I'm glad you guys are spending time with me here. Top of the 4th inning, the Mets lead the Yankees 1-0. Leading off for the Yankees will be Aaron Judge, as Zack Wheeler gets back on the mound there. Wheeler has a fatigue rating of 6, so I don't have to worry about him for at least a while. He's pitching a beautiful game. He's just getting, thankfully, his defense is helping him out. Here's the pitch to Judge, and it's a 6. This is tough. It's a 74, and Judge hits a fly ball straight away center field, and Conforto is going to have himself a sandwich before the ball comes down, and it is 1 out. And now we'll see Aaron Hicks. Wheeler gets a sign, gets the sign from Ramos. Here's the pitch to Hicks. And this is a 10. This is a ballpark effect. 23. This is in the wheelhouse. This is in the wheelhouse. Aaron Hicks gets a chance. Here's the pitch, 75, and Hicks hits it. Just got under it, but it's going to go through the infield for a base hit. So Hicks is going to be on at first base with 1 out. His ceiling rating's a 2. I don't see him going anywhere on that. So he's going to stay at first base. And the batter now will be Gary Sanchez. Sanchez is on it, is at the plate. Zack Wheeler looks Hicks back a little bit, but Hicks is not running. And here's the pitch to Sanchez. This is an 8. He's patient. 89. Sanchez. He hits a ground ball to He hits a ground ball to shortstop. Could this be 2? Hicks' double play is a 5. Zack Wheeler's double play is a 7. It is an 8. So it is an 8. So it's what is it? So it's 5, so it's an 8, so it's above both. It is above both. It is above both. So if dice total is higher than either player's runner on first base is out at second base, batter is higher than other runners advance 1 base, 2 or less. So I think they only get the out at first, if I'm right. I think they get the out at first, right? If dice total is equal or less than each player's DP rating, runner at first base is out, batter out at first base is higher than either player's running on first base is out at second base, batter safe at first. Other runners advance 1 base. If 2d6 is greater than 10, runners advance 1 base, the batter is out. Okay, so Hicks actually gets the second base on that, and Gary Sanchez is out. But they're now 2 away for Didi Gregorius. So Zack Wheeler pitching pretty well here. But 2 outs now. Here's the pitch to Gregorius. And this is 7. This is in play. 35. 35. And this is a ground ball to first. And Alonzo is going to take it, tag the bag himself. And again, the inning is over. So Zack Wheeler pitching beautifully today. And getting the batters out thanks to defense. Most of these are actually in-play shots. So that retires the side. Bottom half of the 4th inning, we'll see Wilson Ramos coming up. James Paxton. Here's the pitch from Paxton. This is patient. It's a 97. It won't matter. Ramos goes ahead and smacks this one high in the air to left. And it's going to be Gardner who will just sit there and wait for it. And it gets into his glove. It comes into his glove sooner or later. 1 out. Here's Conforto. 1 out. There's the pitch from Paxton. And this is a wheelhouse. Oh, boy. Giving it to the wheelhouse of Conforto is usually not that good. This is in the wheelhouse. Conforto hits a high fly ball. This one's deep. He got all of that one. Say goodbye. It's out of here. Michael Conforto blasts this one off of Paxton. That 16 definitely home run. He is going to run the bases. And he smacks a home run, and it is now 2-0 Mets. The Mets doing it with the long ball off of one of the better pitchers the Yankees have is James Paxton. So 1 out, now 2-0 Mets. And now here's Ahmed Rosario. He hit the home run a couple innings ago. Still fourth inning. And still one out. Here's the pitch to Rosario. The pitch from Paxton. This time it's a tough. And this one, but Rosario fights it off. It's a base hit. It's gonna be into the corner. It's a 45. Rosario smacks this one into the corner. He's gonna go to second with a slide-in double. He fights off a beautiful slider from Paxton. I don't know how Rosario got that one, but it goes into the corner for a double. And the Mets have a man on second. How about that, people? Mets playing hardball here at Citi Field. And it brings up Zack Wheeler. Now now his bunt rating is a 5 to 12, but he actually can hit the ball pretty well. But I think they're going to try to do the sacrifice bunt for Ahmed Rosario, so let me check the rules on that. Okay, so his bunt rating, I guess, on Zack Wheeler's card is a C. So he can bunt pretty well. Ahmed Rosario on. So we go ahead and we run the sacrifice bunt. We run the sacrifice bunt chart here. Haven't had to use the cards, really, have I? Everything's pretty much been done by the dice. But as I said, people, if I'm doing this wrong, please let me know what I did wrong so I can do it right next time. I am a Mets fan, but I am trying to play this game non-biased. So it's a sacrifice bunt. So we roll the percentile dice. And it's a C. And it's a 57, and the sacrifice is successful. So there's 2 outs. Wheeler is out. But it moves Rosario over to third. And now the batter is Jeff Mcneil. Oh, man. I hate it when it does that. Little earthquake there, but no problem. So Jeff Mcneil is batting. 2 outs now. Rosario on at third base. And here's the pitch. And this is a 7 from Paxton. It is tough. 69. And Mcneil is going to ground this one right to shortstop. Gregorius will throw to first and get the out. And the side is retired. But a home run by Michael Conforto makes the score Mets 2, Yankees 0. 5th inning coming up. So we go to the top of the 5th. And Edwin Encarnacion leads off for the Yankees. It's 2-0 Mets. Zack Wheeler pitching, getting a lot of help from his defense. And James Paxton has given up 2 long balls, one to Rosario and one to Conforto, as we now start the 5th inning. Zack Wheeler steps on the mound. Fans here at Citi Field enjoying this one. Here's the pitch. And this one's in play. It's an 87. And this one is a ground ball to shortstop. Ahmed Rosario will make the play. 1 out. Encarnacion goes down. And we'll now bring up Gleyber Torres. 1 out. And let's see what happens with Wheeler. Zack Wheeler gets the sign. Gets the sign from Ramos. Here's the pitch. This is on. This is in Zack Wheeler's wheel. This is in the wheelhouse. And Gleyber Torres gets this one. He hits this one high. He hits this one deep. And yes, people, Gleyber Torres hit this one gone. Home run, Yankees. Gleyber Torres smacks this one. He got all of that. As it looks like Zack Wheeler maybe got a little complacent. And he made a mistake on that slider. It hung. And Gleyber Torres just sent it out of here. That is a homer. And we now have a 2-1 game. So all being done with the long ball so far. Still 1 out. Here's Brett Gardner. The pitch from the pitch. This one's tough. It's an 82. This one's going to be a grounder to second base. The play will be made by Cano. Throws to first. That's the 2nd out. Two men down now for James Paxton, who will come up to bat. Paxton looking at Wheeler, and both pitchers facing off. Both of them said, and Paxton kind of looked at Wheeler and said, "Yeah, I gave up home runs already to you guys." Wheeler sets in there. Here's the pitch, and this one's in play. This one's in play, but this is going to be a very simple play. This is a grounder to first base. Alonzo will just take it himself, and that retires the side. So a home run by Gleyber Torres. And Torres does have power. He hit 38 of them last year. So he hits that one clean out of the park. or at least that one actually wound up. I think I wound up in the second deck as hard as it hit. But it is now Mets 2, Yankees 1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And Pete Alonzo is the leadoff batter. So on comes Paxton again, bottom of the 5th. His fatigue rating is a 5. But he's actually done pretty well. Here's the pitch to Alonzo. And this is a 3. This is a patient, and it's a 4, and he is going to walk Alonzo. So Alonzo draws the leadoff walk. It'll put a runner at first base, and the batter will be J.D. Davis. Nobody out. And here's the pitch to Davis. This is a tough, and it's a 9, and Davis swing and a miss, strikeout. 1 down. The batter now will be Todd Frazier. Alonzo still at first base. Alonzo can steal. Alonzo actually could try a steal play here, but I think I'm just going to keep him at first. I'm going to try to keep the stealing ratings a little bit out of it. And we dropped the die. Let's try this again. Here's the pitch. Here's the pitch from Paxton. And this is a ballpark effect. 47. This is in the wheelhouse. Can Frazier smack one? Here's the pitch. And Frazier hits a high fly ball. This one is carrying. The wind at Citi Field is doing the job. Say goodbye. It's gone. Todd Frazier smacks a home run. 3rd home run for the Mets. It will bring in Alonzo. And just like that, the Mets jump out in front 4-1. Todd Frazier in the wheelhouse, a 1-57 on the home run, a ballpark card. Citi Field has actually been rated, is supposed to be neutral, but it's definitely helping the Mets out in this game. And it is now 4-1 as 2 runs will score. All runs scored in this game have been homers. None of them brought in by the base hit. And still 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. It'll bring up Robinson Cano. So checking the fatigue rules, if they've allowed 3 or more runs by the fatigue inning, which James Paxton did, okay, he's now allowed 4 runs in the 5 innings. He's now considered fatigued. So I decided to make a change for the New York Yankees. They're going to bring in Nestor Cortez. He will pitch. And still 1 out, Robinson Cano at the plate, and the bases are clear. So now Nestor Cortez is in there for the Yankees as the Mets chase Paxton out in the 5th. Here's the pitch to Cano. This is a ballpark effect, 87. This is in play. So the play by Cano, he smacks one, but this is a ground ball to shortstop. And Gregorius will make the play to first, and that is the 2nd out. And that'll bring up Wilson Ramos. 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 5th. 4-1 Mets. The pitch from Cortez. This one's patient, 52. And Ramos, and he fights this one off. It's lefty versus left. It's righty versus lefty. Ramos, if it was against a right-handed pitcher, this would be a single. This is a double by Ramos. Ramos will go to 2nd. And will hold there. He hit this one pretty much over the head of Brett Gardner. And the Mets get a 2-out double. And will bring up Michael Conforto, who already has a home run in this game. So Nestor Cortez gives up a 2-out double. Conforto the bat, still left on left. Here's the pitch. And this one is patient. And Conforto is going to walk. So he walks Conforto. Runners at 1st and 2nd, now with 2 outs. For Ahmed Rosario, who also has a home run in this game. Citi Field being kind to the Mets today. Nestor Cortez sets up the sign from Sanchez. Here's the pitch. And this is a tough 27. And Rosario strikes out. And that retires the side. But the Mets get a couple of big runs today in that inning. At the end of 5, it's Mets 4, Yankees 1. Top of the 6th coming up. So we go to the top of the 6th inning. The Mets are ahead 4-1. They actually won this game 4-2 on that date. The Yankees will have DJ LeMahieu leading off here in the top of the 6th inning. Zack Wheeler, this is his fatigue rating, but he is the batter supposed to be in the bottom half of the inning, so the Mets are going to keep him out there, and we'll see if they can hold out for one more inning. DJ LeMahieu leads off for the Yankees in the top of the 6th. There's the pitch, and this is a patient 57, and this is a single by DJ LeMahieu. He smacks a base hit, and he'll go to first base, so a leadoff runner on for the Yankees. We know the Yankees are very capable of scoring runs, so very capable here. That'll bring up Aaron Judge, definitely a threat. Fans here at Shea Stadium, a lot of them wearing orange, a lot of them wearing navy blue. Aaron Judge sets up Wheeler. Here's the pitch. And it is a tough play. 15 and strikes him out. Big strikeout by Zack Wheeler. And Aaron Judge is out of there, one down. DJ LeMahieu is a steal 2 of C. I'm not going to send him. When you're down 3 runs, you need base runners. Here's Aaron Hicks. 1 out. LeMahieu on it first. Here's the pitch. Guess I got to keep this in range, right? Here's the pitch. It's a 4. It is in play, 27. And this one is going to be a grounder to first base. He makes the play. And let's see what we got here. It's a double. So it's a 4. And it is going to be a double play. Grounder to first. Throws to second. Back to first. Double play. Inning over. Zack Wheeler gets the pitcher's best friend, and that retires his side. Still 4-1 Yankees, 4-1 Mets. Bottom of the 6th coming up. We go to the bottom half of inning number 6 here. The Mets lead the Yankees 4-1 here at Citi Field. There'll be a new batter coming in. So coming in batting, even though Zack Wheeler's pitched beautifully, I got to go to this is when you normally go in the bullpen. We are playing modern baseball, so you got to do it the right way. Juan Lagares will bat for the Mets against Nestor Cortez as the Yankees keep him on the mound for the next inning. And Juan Lagares will bat here in the bottom half of inning 6. And you can see Robert Gesellman listed on the page there as he will be the next pitcher coming in for the Mets in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch to Lagares. And that is a 12. That is a ballpark on Cortez. And it's 0-1. It's in the wheelhouse. Cortez threw him a meatball. Did Lagares get all of it? He did not. He did get a good smack of it, though. It is a base hit. And Lagares gets a leadoff hit for the Mets. So Lagares goes to first. And the batter now is Jeff McNeil. Lagares, not a bad. So Lagares on at first base. Here's Jeff McNeil. He'll come up to bat. Lagares has a steal rating of 3B. I think I'm going to keep him there. You're ahead 4-1. And let one of your best hitters at the plate. Give him a shot. So McNeil at the plate. Runner at first. Nobody out. Here's the pitch to McNeil. And it is a 4. This is in play by Cortez, 55. And this is a ground ball to third. And it's a ground ball to third. Lagares and Nestor, they are both under the double. They are under the double play. It's a ground ball to third, on to second, on to first, 2 outs. So McNeil grounds out into a 5-4-3. And so now the batter will be Pete Alonzo. So it looked like maybe the Mets might have had a chance to probably get some insurance runs, but nope, the double play saves Nestor Cortez. And here's Peter Alonzo. The Mets 4, Yankees 1, bottom of the 6th inning. All runs scored in this game are homers. Here's the pitch to Alonzo. This is a tough play, 57, and Alonzo is going to go down on strikes. So it looked like the Mets might have something going on, but they can't get it in there, and the side is retired. 4-1 Mets as we go to the top of inning 7. And I haven't even pulled the cards. There's been no need. So It'll be Gary Sanchez leading off for the Yankees. Now pitching for the Mets will be Robert Gsellman. 2-3, 4.66 ERA last year. Gsellman, a fine pitcher. I like Gsellman. They call him Mini Thor at Citi Field. They call him Mini Thor. I actually like Gsellman. I think he's very capable. And for some reason, he always seems to pitch better when he has Syndergaard in front of him. I don't know. Sanchez at the plate. And here's the pitch from Robert Gsellman, who now takes over at the pitcher. And this is in play. It's a 27. And Gsellman, the right-hander, and that's a ground ball that's a grounder right back to the pitcher. And Gsellman's going to throw him out at first, 1 out. One man down for Didi Gregorius. Mets are doing a fine job in this ball game, and yes, people, the Yankees are the better team. Gregorius is the batter. 1 man out, and here's the pitch. And this is also in play. And this one's going to be a ground ball right to second. The play will be made by Cano. Throws over to first. 2 down. And now here's Edwin Encarnacion. Nestor Gsellman looking at the play. Here's the pitch. And this one's in play. 14. This one, however, looks like is going to be a hit. And it will be. It's a base hit for Encarnacion. He will go to first. A single puts a runner on base for Gleyber Torres. Torres is the one that hit the home run for the Yankees. And that was a blast, too. When I feel a home run is off the ballpark card, I feel the weather kind of takes it, the wind takes it. If it's straight wheelhouse off the batter, that's the batter doing it. But 2 outs, Encarnacion. His stealing rating is an F, so he's not going anywhere. Gsellman trying to get the inning done. Here's the pitch. And this is a 5. This is in play. And Torres gets a big one, and this one goes all the way to the wall. Gleyber Torres having a good game. This is going to be a double. And I'll pick the card for it. It's an opposite field shot. And the runners advance 2 bases, so they get the ball into play, and Encarnacion does not score. He will hold it third. This was an opposite field shot, so this one was hit to, since Gleyber Torres is a right-hander, this went to left. But runners at second and third now, 2 outs. And the batter now is a very dangerous Brett Gardner. And against right-handed pitching, he hit 23 home runs. But they're going to give Gsellman the benefit of the doubt. And they're going to go ahead and they're going to walk him intentionally. And load the bases. Because the pitcher was due next. So Nestor Cortes will be done for the Yankees. So now we got to see who's going to pinch hit for the Yankees. So coming on to pinch hit for the Yankees is going to be Giovanni Urshela. And he does very well against the righties. Batted .320 against right-handed pitching. So Robert Gsellman is going to have to try to get a very good Giovanni Urshela out. But there are 2 outs, and the bases are loaded here in the top of the 7th. Could this be the inning that the Yankees actually break through? Urshela at the plate. Gsellman the pitcher. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. It's a 6. It's tough. 15, and Urshela strikes out. What a pitch by Gsellman. Caught him on a low slider. And Urshela just swung at it. And he actually was on time. He just missed it. As the ball went underneath his bat, and the side is retired. Bases loaded left by the Yankees. They don't get in any runs. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th, still 4-1 Mets. The fans are going wild here at Shea Stadium as Robert Gsellman gets out of the inning on a big strikeout on Urshela. And we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning, still 4-1 Mets. The Yankees have had their opportunities. Leading off for the Mets will be J.D. Davis. The new Yankee pitcher will be Luis Cessa. 2 wins and a loss, 4.11 ERA. He pitched 81 innings. I figure he'll be a fine pitcher for the Yankees. So Luis Cessa comes to the pitch. And J.D. Davis will lead it off here in the bottom of inning 7. Here's the pitch to Davis. And that is a patient. And that is an 8. And Davis draws a leadoff walk. The walks have been hurting. I know for a fact the Yankees have been letting a lot of walks. They've been walking batters, and that's what's been doing it today. Davis goes to first. A good steal, a pretty good steal, but I'm going to leave him at first base. You're ahead 4-1. And now the batter is Todd Frazier. Frazier hit a home run earlier. It was a 2-run homer to make it a 4-1 game. Luis Cessa. Here's the pitch to Frazier. And this one's defense, and it's a 13. The defensive, and it could be could be an error chance on the third baseman, which is DJ LeMahieu, and his error rating is a 3. So we refer to the ballpark chart, and his error rating is a 3 on DJ LeMahieu. So let's see what he has here. Oh, wrong dice. 48, and this is going to be an error on DJ LeMahieu. He can't make the play. This is an error. And it's going to be a one-base error according to the card. So it's a one-base error on LeMahieu. It looks like it got under his glove. And that's a big error. And that allows runners at first and second, and still nobody out here in the 7th inning. So an error on DJ LeMahieu. And now the batter is Cano. Runners at first and second, nobody out. And Luis Cessa not getting any help from his defense. Here's the pitch. This is a patient. It's a 43 against the right-hander. And this is a base hit by Robinson Cano. He gets a base hit. It's a single. The ball is blooped into right field. Runner on first advances 2 bases. Runner on second scores. So J.D. Davis will come in and score. Frazier will go to third. Cano will hold it first. And it is now 5-1 Mets. It was blooped into right field. And Aaron Judge just played a little bit too far back and couldn't get in there in time to make the play. So runners at first and third now. And still nobody out. So Luis Cessa, he's already given up a run, but I'm not going to count that against his fatigue because that was unearned. That's an unearned run because of the error. But that is a base hit, and the Mets now lead at 5-2. And now here's Wilson Ramos, and still nobody out. Runners at first and third, and yes, the Yankee bullpen is warming up again. Runners at first and third. Nobody out. Here's the pitch to Ramos. And this one is a patient. That's a 92, and this one's a fly ball to left field. And getting under it is Brett Gardner. He makes the play. He makes the catch, and now we got to see if it was a deep enough fly ball. And it is a deep fly according to the card. That should be enough to score Frazier. And I'll check the rule on that. So the combined total, Todd Frazier's running rating is a 6. And that ball was hit to Gardner. Gardner's rating at left field arm is a 6. That would be a 12. They're not even going to attempt it. They're going to take the out, which means Frazier. They're going to let Frazier go home without a throw to keep Cano at first base. So Todd Frazier scores on a deep sacrifice fly, and the Mets now lead at 6-1. And now 1 out. And the batter now will be Michael Conforto. Conforto also hit a home run earlier. And Robinson Cano on at first base. But 1 out now here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's the second run. And Luis Cessa, they're going to keep him out. He's allowed 2 runs, but 1 was unearned. So if he allows another run, I'll say he's fatigued. Here's the pitch to Conforto. That's a 7. That's tough. 25 struck him out. And that's the second out. So Conforto out of there. And now here's Rosario, who hit a home run earlier in the game. Runner at first, now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. And here's the pitch to Rosario. And Rosario, this one's patient, 66 against the right-hander, and this one is a grounder to second. This play will be picked up by Torres, and he'll take it. He'll actually throw to first and get the out, and that ends the inning. The Mets pick up a couple runs here, 7 in the books. New York Mets 6, New York Yankees 1. We'll be right back with the 8th inning in a moment. I hope everyone's enjoying this. As I said, I'm still learning this game. It's the first time I've ever playing this. So we go to the top of the 8th inning. Mets 6, Yankees 1. And DJ LeMahieu leads off for the Yankees here in the top of the 8th inning. Robert Gsellman will stay on the mound. He can pitch another inning because he is also the first batter due up in the bottom of the 8th. So here's LeMahieu. Top of the 8th. Here's the pitch. This is a 10. This is ballpark. It's 84. This is going to be in play. And LeMahieu against the right-hander, 72. And this one is going to be a ground ball to second base. Cano will make the play. Throws to first. 1 out. LeMahieu tried to make up for that error, but couldn't really do it. Here's Aaron Judge, batting second. 1 away. Judge is always a threat. Here's the pitch from Gsellman. And this is patient to Judge. And this one's a walk. Aaron Judge, when he gets patient, it gets difficult. So Aaron Judge is going to go to first with a 1-out walk. So the Yankees start with a man on, have a man on first now with 1 away, and the batter will be Aaron Hicks. Aaron Judge not going to steal. You're down by 5 runs. You're not stealing. So here's the pitch to Hicks from Gsellman. And that is a 7. That is in play, 84, and that's going to be a grounder to the shortstop. Could this be 2? Double play rating is a 7. Double play rating is an 8. His is an 8. His under a 5. So the batter is out, and Aaron Hicks will move to first. So they get the fielder's choice as it's one or the other. If it's one or the other, the batter is out. If there were, but the 7 was not underneath the 5, so Hicks gets to first. Hicks gets to first base, but Judge is out. But there's now 2 men down for Gary Sanchez. Hicks on at first. Gsellman working, trying to get a second scoreless inning. Here's the pitch to Sanchez. This is a 4. This is patient, 76, and just out of the range. It's a high fly ball to center field. But plenty of time for Conforto to make the play. Side retired. 2 beautiful innings by Robert Gsellman. And that ends the inning. So a runner stranded. Still 6-1 Mets. Bottom of the 8th coming up. So out comes out Aaron Hicks. The new pitcher for the Yankees will be David Hale. And we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Mets to start the bottom of the 8th inning. And David Hale's a righty, so the Mets will probably bring in a lefty. And they're going to go ahead and bring in, to not skew anything, they're going to bring in Dominic Smith to pinch hit. So Dominic Smith will pinch hit, and he actually did very well against the left, against right. He did okay against right-handed batters. So Dominic Smith will pinch hit against David Hale here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a defensive play. So we go to the card. It could be an error on the first baseman, and that could be an error on Edwin Encarnacion. And Edwin Encarnacion's rating is a 5. So here's the play. And this one's going to be, just makes a play. 36, he's out of there. He gets Dominic Smith out. He bobbled it, but he picked it up and managed to get to the base just fast enough before Dominic Smith could get out there. And there's 1 out. He did bobble it, but Encarnacion makes the play. It makes the play. 1 out now for Jeff McNeil. He will bat again. And David Hale gets on the mound, gets the sign from Sanchez. Here's the pitch. This is an 8. This is in play. Mcneil hits it in play, and it's a fly ball to center field. Pretty easy for Aaron Hicks. 2 down. And now Pete Alonzo. He's walked a number of times and struck out a couple of times. And yet he hasn't hit the long ball. Those were done by Rosario, Conforto, and Frazier. 2 outs now. Alonzo would like to join the hit parade. Here's the pitch. It's a 9. This is Patient, 71, and he is plunked. So Alonzo's had a very interesting day. Struck out twice, walked twice, and now he gets hit by the pitch. He goes to first. So Alonzo winds up on first base being hit by the pitch by David Hale. And Hale looking at Alonzo, and Hale apologizing profusely, because if you know how big Alonzo is, no. Hale says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it." And Alonzo saying, "It's okay, I know. Just next time, maybe a little to the side, please. You kind of hit me in the arm." So Alonzo on at first base for J.D. Davis on a 2-out hit by pitch. And Hale will have to try it again. Here's the pitch. This is an 8. This is in play by Davis. It's 45. It's 45, and that's going to be a ground ball right to first base. And Encarnacion will make the play and retire the side. So the hit by pitch does nothing, but the Mets still lead 6-1. We go to the top of the 9th inning. So we go to the top of the 9th, and pitching for the Mets is going to be Seth Lugo. No, people, I'm not bringing in Jeurys Familia. Seth Lugo is going to come on and pitch the 9th inning. Good pitcher, 7-4, 2.70 ERA. It's not a save situation, so I'm not bringing in Diaz. No need. So Seth Lugo will pitch, leading off for the Yankees here. In the top of the 9th inning will be Didi Gregorius. The Yankees have actually had a few chances, but Met pitching has done the job. So here's Gregorius, top of the 9th inning, 6-1 Mets. Here's the pitch, and that one's out. Roll again. And this one is a ballpark from Seth Lugo. It's an 81. This is going to be in play. Gregorius, that's a 90, and that's going to be a ground ball right to second base. Throws to first. Nice play by Cano. 1 out. And the batter is Edwin Encarnacion, who made a nice play at first base. He did bobble it, but he made the play. But 1 out now to Encarnacion, to the Yankees. Here's the pitch from Lugo. This one's in play. It's a 39, and this one's going to be a ground ball to third. And Todd Frazier, and third base, and Frazier will make the play. He throws to first base. 2 men down, and the fans here at Shea Stadium are on their feet. They want to see a home win. But the batter will be Gleyber Torres. He hit a home run, hit a double. He's been doing most of the offense for the Yankees in this game. Seth Lugo toes the rubber. And now he gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Torres. This is a 9. It's going to be tough. 52. And it's against the right-hander, and it's going to be a base hit. Gleyber Torres gets it out of the infield, and Torres continues to hit pitchers well from the tough, and Lugo knew he made a good pitch. But Torres hits the base hit, and the game continues. So Torres will go to first base. He'll hold. The batter is Brett Gardner. So Torres on at first base. Gardner at the plate. Right on left. Lugo checks the sign. Torres not a stealing threat. Here's the pitch. It's a 9. This is tough. 41. Gardner. And he struck him out, and that's the ball game. So Seth Lugo does allow the base runner. But the ball game is over as the New York Mets defeat the New York Yankees 6-1 in my first ever payoff pitch replay game. And that will do it here. I'm sorry that it took about an hour. If you watched this for the whole hour, I'm so sorry. All right. Hopefully I'll get to know the game better, and I'll get it done even quicker in the past. I do want to thank you very much for watching this game. Of course, the winning pitcher is Zack Wheeler. The losing pitcher is James Paxton. Home runs made by Gleyber Torres for the Yankees, Rosario, Conforto, and Frazier for the Mets. Until then, this is everyone. I'm saying goodbye from Citi Field, everybody. Final score: New York Mets 6, New York Yankees 1. I'll see what I choose for my second game in the future before I start doing some replay stuff. Until then, this is Robert from RJL518. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good one.